Hello everyone, welcome back to the second circle, a Helltaker fan game. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's see who we're gonna do today. Let's go with Pandemonica. Can't stop thinking about all that Pandemonica told you the other day. Her words occupy your thoughts to such a degree that you find yourself going out of your way to do research on the matter. However, after exhausting the local library of all the resources regarding demonology, and earning more than a few concerned looks from the librarians there, you turn to only a place depraved enough to have what you're looking for. The internet. Alas, even that proves to be unfruitful. And surprisingly, there isn't much in the way of academic papers around the study of actual flesh and brimstone demons. Certainly, you could turn to Lucy or one of the others living under your roof for some insight, but you're hesitant to air Pandemonica's personal issues out for all to hear. So instead, you seek out the only other person you can think of who, driven by obsessive curiosity, would know just as much about demons as the very denizens of hell itself. Fortunately, you managed to find her alone in the garden, crouched over the azaleas, with her notepad clutched tightly in one hand and a plucked flower in the other. Come up to her just as she's about to lick one of the petals. Oh, hello, Mr. Taker. Hey. What are you doing there? Oh, this? Just a bit of research. I see. Can I help you with something? Actually, yes, there is something I'd like to ask you about. If you have a minute, of course. It's something personal. Personal? Not about me. It's about Pandemonica, actually. Oh dear. She hasn't found my backup research file, has she? What? No. Oh, wait, what backup research file? What? Never mind. It's best if I don't know. No, what I wanted to talk to you about is regarding demonology. You see, Pandemonica told me something the other day, and I'm not sure what to do with the information. I tried digging into my own of the hopes of understanding the situation better, but I couldn't get very far. Aha! So naturally you came to me, the leading demonology expert in the universe. Why, I'm flattered, Mr. Taker. Though I must admit, it's rather presumptuous of you to assume that an esteemed academic such as myself isn't too busy to help you. As you know, I'm rather swamped with my work on my thesis. Oh. Well, I don't mean to put too much on your plate. If you're too busy, I can find someone else to help. Wait, no. Well, I would normally be too busy for such a request. You just so happen to have caught me right as I'm about to take my lunch break. So, why don't you whip us up a couple of sandwiches and I'll listen to your conundrum, eh? Fine. Give me a minute. You pop inside the house and return a moment later with a couple thrown together ham and cheese sandwiches. After handing one plate to Zazzle, you sit down on the grass next to her. In between bites of her lunch, you launch into a thorough explanation detailing the time you've spent with Pandemonica thus far, and everything she revealed to you on your last date. Aside from asking a few clarifying questions here and there, Zazzle is shockingly silent up until your tale has come to an end. This is all very interesting indeed. I have a few theories, but before I get to that, what exactly are you hoping to gain from this, Taker? Answers, I suppose? And what will you do with those answers? Well, I just want to help. Maybe this is my place to interfere, but I also know that I can't just sit by and watch her suffer.
That's really admirable of you, Taker. I'm sure that even if you fail to make a difference, she'll appreciate the effort.
I hope so.
Now, onto my theories. As it stands, I believe the primary reason for Pandemonica's affliction is thanks to the influence Hell exerts over its denizens, whether they remain within its direct boundaries or not. Therefore, it stands to reason that, in order to ease her particular malady, you need to lessen Hell's metaphorical grip on her. The easiest way to do this is to distance her from Hell.
So I just need to bring her somewhere that's as far away from Hell as possible? Like a really tall mountain?
Yes, that's one way of thinking about it, I suppose. But I'm afraid it isn't quite so simple. Sure, putting physical distance is one way of alleviating her plight. Is that really sustainable? I think what you really should focus on is either aesthetic or emotional distance. Either you can make your immediate surroundings the very antithesis of Hell, or you can replace the lingering feelings of her time in Hell with something totally different. In doing so, you may be able to make the voices stop.
The antithesis of Hell? How am I supposed to accomplish something like that?
I realize this is all far easier than said than done, but fear not, I have a couple of ideas that can help you. Based on what you told me and my knowledge of Hell itself, I think you have two avenues with which you can pursue. Firstly, bring her somewhere that is opposed to the dark and drab image of Hell. That, I believe, is much of why her malady subsided on your walk the other day. The beautiful scenery and the cold brought her away from Hell's clutches, giving her peace.
Alright. And the second option?
That one is a little more tricky. But also, it's likely to prove more effective.
Okay. What is it?
If you can elicit feelings of joy, contentment, affection, and even love, it is likely you'll be able to permanently ease her disquiet. But it is difficult to say if this will succeed since it hinges on her reciprocating those feelings.
I see. Thank you, Zazzle. You've given me a lot to think about.
Anytime, Mr. Taker. If there's anything else I can do, just let me know.
Actually, there's one more thing I think you can do for me.
Of course. What is it?
You got a bathing suit, right?
Yeah?
Good. Grab your suit, a towel, and a couple umbrellas and meet me by the car in half an hour.
What are you planning, Mr. Taker?
You'll see. I'll also find Pandemonica for me and get her to pack up her things as well. Gonna take a little trip. That you leave Azazel to go into the house and track down Judgment. With her help, you wrangle Cerberus into the kitchen so that the three of you can begin preparing a basket of sandwiches, snacks, and wine. Then, you gather your own bathing suit and a couple of beach-related activity items before loading everything up in the car. True to her word, Azazel meets you out there with a very groggy Pandemonica in tow.
What in the world is going on, Taker? Okay, let's take a good look at this. Wow, everyone looks good. Judgment.
Yeah, everyone looks really good. Azazel looks quite nice too.
And why are we all standing here in our bathing suits?
Hop on in and you'll see. Pandemonica paused to glare at you before sliding into the passenger seat. Despite that no one has gotten hurt yet, you hop behind the wheel. car rumbles to life and you set it off. For the first leg on your long journey, Cerberus and Judgment war over territory in the back seat, while Azazel regales you with all sorts of obtuse facts about all the scenery you pass by. Pandemonica is, unsurprisingly, silent as she stares out the window. You cannot tell if she is grumpy, skeptical, or both. Eventually, skirmishes in the backseat come to an end, and even Azazel falls into silence as you draw nearer to your destination. At last, after nearly an hour driving, you pull out the main road onto a narrow side street which brings you closer to the smell of salt air. Soon you're able to hear the sound of crashing waves, and decide then that it is a good time to park. Alright everyone, we got a bit of walk still to go, so grab what you can. Promise you won't want to make a return trip.
Where in the world have you brought us, Taker?
Pandemonica, do you mind grabbing the picnic basket for me? I got my hands a bit full with the towels.
Don't dodge the question like that, mortal. Surely you don't think that I'm foolish enough to fall for that. Hey, answer me, Taker. Taker, don't you walk away from me.
You grab what you can and hurry out of the car. Then with everyone falling close behind you, you lead the way on a trek through a sparse grove of trees, past the wall of high boulders until you feel your feet sink to the sand. I kinda wish Justice came along too. I want to see her in her bathing suit. Here we are.
Wow.
Upon setting their sights on the beach, Cerberus drops everything they are holding, tosses out their sandals, and charges forth into water.
Wait for me. Hey, don't just drop everything and run off. Hey!
Grumbling, Judgment manages to gather everything Cerberus dropped and lug it to the rest of the way.
This is...
Do you like it?
It's...
Pandemonica turns to you. He meets your gaze. And once she seems to understand what it is you're really asking.
Quiet.
Pandemonica looks quite good in that outfit.
I really appreciate this, Taker, but...
Listen. If they come back, then so be it. There isn't much we can do about that. But for now, try to put all of that in the back of your mind and just enjoy yourself. You reach into the basket, hang off Pandemonica's forearm, and pull out a thermos. Here, I packed you some coffee. Now go relax, okay?
Thank you.
Ah, she's smiling. You nod and watch Pandemonica walk out to set up the blankets. And the shout draws your attention to Judgment chasing Cerberus through the shallow water, running circles around across Azazel.
Come back here, you! Quit running like that, you're scaring away the specimens!
Judgment is just about to toss her chains out the mischievous trio when you whistle for her attention. As she turns to you, you withdraw a disc from the bag and shoulder and toss it to her. She catches it out of the air and returns a thankful wave. With one fluid motion, Judgment hurls the disc from down the beach. Cerberus pauses only a moment to watch it go, then practically tramples over herself to pursue it. You, meanwhile, go to help Pandemonica unpack everything.
I've never been to a beach before.
Aside from the banks of the river Styx, of course, which aren't necessarily pleasant, we don't have anything like this.
But where are all the people? Are your beaches always so bare?
No, they aren't. Technically speaking, this isn't really a public beach. It belongs to some heiress and her boyfriend. Their house is a little ways inland. But they almost never come down here. Supposedly he really doesn't like the sand for whatever reason. Anyway, I used to sneak down here when I was younger to get a little bit of beach time to myself.
I see. It's peaceful without the added flair of potentially being caught. I like it. You've done well, Taker. So what do humans tend to do in a place like this?
I'm glad you asked.
With a grin, you pull off your shirt and toss off your sandals. Then you beckon Pandemonica to follow you as you jog down to the water. Though hesitant at first, the demoness follows you. For a while, you are content to stand where it's shallow and watch the waves crash against your ankles, but soon take Pandemonica's hand and bring her further into surf. From the look on her face, you get that she's not a terribly inexperienced swimmer, so rather than bring her deep enough that the waves could sweep her away, settle for sticking to where the water is only as high as her waist. This is surprisingly pleasant. Do you know how to swim, Taker?
I do.
Could you show me?
Sure. Here. Let me show you how to float on your back first. Just as you reach out to bring Pandemonica closer to you, something lands in the water between you. A familiar disc-shaped object.
Is that?
I think so.
Look out, guys!
Before you can react, Cerberus plows into both of you at top speed, knocking you into the water. Somehow, you manage to snake Pandemonica under the water and drag her to the surface, cradle in your arms.
Sorry.
Okay, let's take a good look at this artwork. Nice.
It's alright. Like hell, it's alright. I got drowned. Come here, you.
Pandemonica squirms out of your grasp and launches herself at Cerberus. The trio scamper off at a surprising pace, and you soon find yourself chasing Pandemonica, who is, in turn, chasing Cerberus. Judgment and Zaza watch the scene unfold with dumbstruck expressions.
Pandemonica, wait!
I'll strangle them! Your chase brings you out onto the beach a while before Cerberus wisely realizes that the water is the safest place for Pandemonica. They charge into surf, and Pandemonica follows after them. At the yelp, Cerberus tries to splash water into Pandemonica's face, hoping to make a swift escape when she's blinded, but the sleepy demon is not deterred. Pretty soon, a splash fight breaks out. Pandemonica enlists you, Azazel, and Judgment to help her overcome the boundless energy of her foe. For long, the splash fight turns into an all-out splash war, which lasts until the sun begins to set. With daylight waning, you finally call it on the bow and head for the beach. The demons all follow suit, collapsing onto their towers in content expressions. Pass out sandwiches and wine to everyone. Though you, Pandemonica, and Judgment savor your dinner, Cerberus scarves down her food so that they can head down by the water and begin making sandcastles. Zazzle too eats quickly so that she can return to the pools and examine the wildlife. Judgment is content to watch them for a time, but soon she too gets up, grumbling something about how they're doing it all wrong.
Oh wow, 2 CG arts.
Let alone you and Pandemonica set your sights on the horizon, where the sunset has bathed the sky a deep shade of red.
You know,
You feel us scoot closer to you on the blanket and loop around yours.
we don't have sunsets in hell. I've certainly heard of them before, but I never imagined that one could be so beautiful.
With a sigh, Pandemonica leans her head against her shoulder.
Thank you for today, Taker. I've never felt so at peace.
I hope that it lasts.
Me too. This is everything I've ever wanted. I never asked to be what I am, to bear the curses that rest on my shoulders. None of us did. But we make the best with what we've been given. I just wish I could stay here forever. With you. As do I. Look out over the beach. Judgment and Cerberus are working hard to build the most impressive castle. Judgment is winning by a long shot, perhaps because Cerberus has chosen to build hers atop Azazel. The Angel's score was too much to provide a solid foundation. Then after a while, high tide sweeps in and Cerberus' moat is flooded, knocking the castle over. As you begin to step out, lamenting her loss, you realize that it will be time to head home before long. The thought of this place is a bittersweet one. You aren't certain what will happen from here on out. At least you'll have the memories you made here to look back on. Pandemonica looks up at you, seeming to realize that your time here is coming to an end. You meet her gaze, wishing you could read exactly what it is that's on her mind. Is it hope? Contentment? Melancholy? We must depart, mustn't we? I'm afraid so. Pandemonica nods and you whistle for Cerberus, Azazel, and Judgment to come to help pack everything up. Groggily, they stumble back upon the beach. The doggos are all tuckered out. As you gather your things, you'll keep an eye over Pandemonica, hoping to glean something from her expression. With she voice looking at you directly, you do manage to catch her eye just before you leave, only to be met with a sorrowful smile. Thinking that this might mean you failed your endeavor to relieve her hell's influence, you hang your head on the way to the car. Behind the wheel once again, you urge the car to life. Pandemonica sits in the passenger seat next to you, a look of concern etched onto her brow. You drive home in silence, save for a soft sound of Cerberus snoring in the back seat. Once you arrive, everyone files out of the car, drops their things in the living room, and heads out to bed with muttered goodnights. Good night, mortal. Night. Pandemonica lingers behind only a while longer, seemingly unable to articulate exactly what is on her mind. Taker, don't worry about it, Pandemonica. At least we have today. But Yes, you're right. Good night. Good night. You let out a breath that you feel as though you've been holding in since that morning. Azazel passes you on her way to bed, patting you encouragingly on the back as she goes. Maybe we can try something else another time. Yeah. Man, Azazel, you got some nice hips. Maybe. Okay, that was it for Pandemonica for this one. Let's see, I think we need to do Modius next, and Cerberus. And I think, Judgment, and then finally Lucifer. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and who your favorite demon girl is. Or maybe all of them. And if you want to try out this for yourself, the links will be provided down below in the description and the comments down below. Anyways, thank you, and take care.